So this guy walks into a bar and he's all, "Hey, bartender, give me a beer." Then the bartender turns around and he's all, "Hey, get out of here, little kitty cat. We don't serve your kind." So the kitty cat's all, "Yeah? Well, I hate your guts anyways." And he slinks off into the night. Just kidding. He actually went to the bathroom. You know how cats are always sneaking off into the night to do their business? It's kind of creepy. But this little stray cat named Milo didn't have anywhere to go after dark. So he spent his nights wandering the dusty roads of the village, searching for food and fun. But Milo wasn't any ordinary kitty cat. No, sir. He was small, skinny, and always got himself into trouble. And tonight promised to be an adventure. As soon as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the village, Milo slipped out of his hiding spot behind the old bakery. He stretched, yawned, and flicked his tail, ready for a night of mischief. Now, usually the village folk didn't mind Milo hanging around. Sure, he sometimes knocked over their flower pots or chased their chickens, but he was just a little guy trying to get by. Plus, there was something about his big green eyes and fluffy tail that just made you want to pet him. But tonight, Milo's curiosity got the better of him. He noticed a narrow path between the last houses and the tall, scary jungle. Everyone in the village knew that the jungle was dangerous. Villagers whispered stories of blood-curdling screams and terrifying beasts that lurked within. But Milo had never been scared of much, except maybe dogs. Those things were nuts. He started walking down the path, the tall grass tickling his belly. As he walked deeper, the sounds of the jungle grew louder. Crickets chirping, monkeys hooting, and a strange, deep growl that sent shivers down his spine. Then he saw it, a pair of glowing yellow eyes staring at him from between the trees. Milo froze. He'd never seen anything like it. It was huge, with long, sharp teeth and claws that looked like they could rip a person to shreds. And those eyes? They burned with a fierce intensity that made Milo's fur stand on end. "Who dares trespass in my jungle?" the creature growled, its voice deep and menacing. And Milo, being the cheeky little dude he was, just grinned and said, "Name's Milo. I'm just exploring." The beast let out a frustrated sigh. To be honest, it was used to scaring people half to death, not having them crack jokes. "Exploring?" it repeated, feeling a sense of dread that this tiny cat would soon become prey. It was a tiger, majestic and powerful, with a thick coat of orange and black stripes. It was the largest predator in the jungle, feared and respected by all. Its name was Raga, and it had never been challenged by such a small, insignificant creature. Raga felt a surge of anger. This tiny cat had trespassed in its territory, and it had to make an example out of him. With a powerful swipe of its paw, it knocked the cat off its feet, sending it tumbling down the rocky path. "Next time," Raga warned, its voice echoing through the trees, "stay away." But Milo wasn't afraid. In fact, he was having the time of his life. "Don't worry," he called back, scrambling to his feet. "I won't tell anyone. You're a softie." With that, he turned and trotted away, leaving a stunned and confused tiger in his wake. Raga stared after him, unsure of what to do. It had never encountered a creature like this before, a creature that wasn't afraid of it. Milo reached a tall rock and climbed to the top, puffing out his chest like a miniature lion. Well, he said, looking down at Raga. "You may be the king of the jungle, but I'm the king of this rock." Raga narrowed its eyes, feeling a surge of irritation. It took a step forward and swatted playfully at the cat, who barely managed to dodge the blow. "Hey!" Milo protested, hopping off the rock. "That's not very nice." With that, he did the one thing he knew would infuriate the tiger. He flicked its tail. Raga roared, lunging at Milo, who dashed away as fast as his little legs could carry him. And that's when the real fun began. Milo led Raga on a merry chase through the tangled undergrowth, leaping over logs, squeezing through narrow gaps, and darting between the trees. All the while, Raga was close behind, its paws pounding the ground and its breath hot on Milo's neck. They raced along a narrow path that wound alongside a sparkling stream. Milo leaped across the water, landing gracefully on the other side. Raga followed, its lithe body moving with powerful grace through the dense foliage. Milo suddenly turned, sending a flock of startled birds into the air. He could hear the tiger crashing through the undergrowth behind him. And then he saw it, a wide cave hidden among the tangled roots of a giant tree. Without hesitation, he darted inside, disappearing into the darkness. Raga hesitated at the entrance, its eyes struggling to pierce the gloom. But it knew that Milo couldn't have gone far, so it crouched low to the ground and crept inside. The cave was dark and dank, the air heavy with the smell of damp earth and decay. But Milo was nowhere to be seen. Raga padded deeper into the cave, its every sense on alert. Then it saw it, a glint of light ahead. It moved towards it, its eyes narrowing, and when it rounded a bend, it saw something that made its jaw drop in disbelief. There in front of it was a steel trap, one that humans used to catch animals. And in the center of it, thrashing wildly, was the pesky cat. "Leave, little one," Raga said urgently. "This is the end for me." But Milo wasn't worried. He looked up at the tiger with a mischievous grin. "Don't worry, Raggy," he said. "I've got this." With that, he wriggled free of the trap and disappeared into the shadows. Raga struggled against the ropes, but they wouldn't budge. It roared in frustration as the trap tightened around its powerful frame. It tried to back out, but the more it struggled, the tighter the trap became. Then it heard a faint sound, the sound of small claws scratching against the ropes. It turned and saw Milo scampering around the trap, his little body a blur of motion. He started biting and scratching at the ropes, working furiously to free the trapped tiger. Each bite, each scratch, brought a surge of hope to Raga's heart. Finally, with a sharp tug, Milo managed to free the last of the ropes. The trap snapped open, and Raga stumbled out, shaken but unharmed. "You saved me?" it said, its voice filled with awe. "A tiger saved by a cat." Milo shrugged, hiding his smugness. "No problem," he said. "Just doing my part to save the day." He hopped onto the tiger's back, and they set off towards the direction of the village, where the first rays of sunlight were beginning to peek over the horizon. As they walked, Raga couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude towards this tiny cat. It had never expected to owe its life to a creature like Milo, but here it was. They walked in silence for a while, and when they finally reached the edge of the village, they both knew that their lives would never be the same again. And so, the mischievous cat and the mighty tiger became unlikely friends. Their bond forged in the fires of adventure, and their respect for each other, growing with each passing day. For Milo, it was just another night in the village. But for Raga, it was the start of a whole new world. Together, they walked into the sunrise, ready to face whatever adventures lay ahead. They had learned that even the smallest of creatures could be brave, and that even the mightiest of tigers could be saved by a cat.